The war in Ukraine continues with full intensity. July 17th, 2026. One soldier, one drone, watching each other from a distance. He gestures at it from behind the tree, almost like he's asking it to leave. It doesn't. The operator just waits for the right moment. At some point, he seems to give up trying, like he already knows there's nowhere left to go. The drone moves in. Watch closely, because this is the actual shape of the front right now. Not trenches changing hands, not big offensives, just movement itself becoming the danger. A soldier can't walk to another position without this waiting somewhere above. Can't resupply, can't rotate out, can't even cross open ground without becoming exactly what you're seeing right now. This is what stalemate looks like when the sky belongs to someone else. Every clip you're watching is the same story, repeated across a few hundred kilometers of front. Out in the open, nowhere to go. An FPV drone closes in fast. He breaks into a run, weapon in hand, but never a clean moment to raise it and fire. The gap closes regardless of how fast he moves. A short chase. The drone connects. Two Russian soldiers on a motorbike. Ukraine's Ronin unit closing in with a drone. One jumps off and runs. The other stays on the bike and keeps going. A chase along an open road with nowhere to hide. One detail stands out as the drone closes in. He's wearing flip-flops. The bike doesn't outrun what's behind it. Open ground, no cover in sight. Running is the only option, and it's not enough. A short chase, the same outcome. This front has seen it play out countless times. Behind a tree, thinking it's enough, until the drone gets close, and it clearly isn't. He breaks out fast, panic taking over. Drops, rolls, scrambles through every move he can think of, one after another. None of it changes what happens next. Hiding in the bushes, a drone closing in. He tries to grab it with his bare hands. One of the strangest moments captured on this front. 4 soldiers on one ATV moving down the road, then the drone appears, closing fast. They bail out just in time, scattering on foot. The ATV doesn't make it. Whatever ride they had left, they're walking from here. 2 Russian soldiers on patrol in southern Donetsk, hit by an incoming Ukrainian FPV drone. They open fire, trying to bring it down. Shot after shot, none of them connecting. The drone closes the distance and detonates with a fragmentation charge. Neither makes it through. Open fields, the kind of ground drone operators check first, nowhere to disappear into. Ukraine's 414th Magyar birds spot a Russian soldier out there during a routine pass, and the drone adjusts course immediately. Stuck in the middle of the field, no real option left. He's got a weapon on him, but running is what he chooses instead. No attempt to fight back, just distance he can't actually create. The outcome was never really in question. A Ukrainian soldier from the 38th Anti-Aircraft Missile Regiment taking down a Russian jet-powered Shahed with a manpads. A shoulder-fired surface-to-air missile. A single soldier, one shot, one Shahed out of the sky. An abandoned house, soldiers using it as cover. The first strike changes that fast. What's left is just rubble where a building used to stand. A second drone arrives right after, catching movement in the wreckage. Someone still trying to climb out. Doesn't get the chance. Close range, the drone closing the last few meters. No time to aim. He throws the weapon itself instead, the only move he has left. Can't get past the wire, so he lies flat, waiting it out. The drone finds him anyway. Deep behind the line, far enough back, they figured it was safe. A Molniya first, caught mid-flight. Ukraine's Apache crews don't stop there. Vehicle after vehicle, spread across the same stretch, none of them make it through the day untouched. Distance from the front doesn't buy the safety it used to. Ukraine's Shkval border unit continuing operations in Kharkiv Oblast. 2 fortified shelters taken out, a communication antenna down, a vehicle struck, and an ambush drone neutralized before it could activate. A methodical sweep through everything Russia had positioned in this sector. A joint operation between Ukraine's Special Operations Forces and the 422 Luftwaffe unit, medium-range UAVs striking Russian command posts and ammunition and fuel depots. Multiple positions hit in the same sweep. Command infrastructure gone, supply stockpiles burned. Every command post taken out here disrupts coordination for the entire sector. Night doesn't hide much anymore. Soldiers moving under cover of dark, spacing themselves out, moving slow, betting that darkness alone keeps them off the radar. Thermal doesn't care about the hour or how careful the approach is. One after another, they show up the same way. Bright against a dark field, easy to pick out, easy to track from a long way off. Whatever advantage the night was supposed to give, it just isn't there anymore. Same result, different lighting. Hidden in a tree line, a Russian Hyacinth S self-propelled howitzer located by Ukraine's Perun unit. A 152mm system capable of striking targets over 28 kilometers away. 2 drone strikes and it's completely out of action. A weapon hitting Ukrainian positions from beyond counter-battery range, gone before it fires again. An assault group on motorbikes, trying to push through, stopped before it ever reached the defensive line. Ukraine's 65th Mechanized Brigade, under the 17th Corps, spots the group early and works through it with drones alone. Infantry on the position never fires a shot. The convoy doesn't get close enough to matter. This isn't an isolated case either. Mechanized pushes in this sector keep breaking down before contact, drones doing the work that used to fall to the trenches. More footage from Ukraine's attack on Novorossiysk, Russia's largest Black Sea oil export port. Tracer fire lighting up the sky as Russian air defenses tried to intercept incoming drones. A surface-to-air missile launches upward, interceptor trying to close the gap. Explosions across the port area, fires visible at multiple points. Despite the volume of fire going up, the strikes keep landing. A display of air defense working at its limits, and still not enough to stop what's coming in. Every strike here directly hits the revenue stream, keeping Russia's war economy funded. Vehicles first, 8 of them spread across the sector, all reduced to smoke by the end. Ukraine's prime unit works through the list fast. Antennas and relays follow, 6 of them, communications cut in the same sweep. Then infantry, caught moving through open ground, tracked and hit before they reach cover. Last on the list, a string of shelters, each one turned into exactly the kind of position no one wants to be caught defending. Same sector, same operation, nothing on that list comes out clean. Drones left on the ground, sitting in ambush position, waiting for a convoy to pass. Ukraine's Apache crews spot them first. One after another, the ambush gets flipped before it ever has the chance to work. Whatever was set up to control this road doesn't get the chance. Operation Molochka, 12 days, 159 vessels. On July 17th, Ukraine's unmanned systems forces struck 12 more Russian Shadow Fleet ships in the Black Sea. 9 dry cargo vessels, 1 oil tanker, 1 gas carrier, 1 tugboat. Since July 6th, 117 ships hit in the Sea of Azov, 42 in the Black Sea. The goal isn't to sink them, it's to paralyze them. Turn every self-propelled vessel into a drifting barge, blind and deaf, unable to move cargo or fuel. Russia's entire maritime sanctions evasion network is being systematically disabled, 1 vessel at a time. The Crimean Bridge was halted for nearly 7 hours overnight. Fires reported across Kerch, Feodosia, and Arabat Spit simultaneously. The sea campaign and the land campaign are now running in parallel, cutting off the peninsula from every direction at once. A twin-barrel anti-aircraft gun, back in regular use along this stretch of the front, Ukraine's Kizhak Brigade running the crew through drills, timing, accuracy, keeping the gunner and loader in sync. Older hardware, but still earning its place here. When something shows up overhead, this is one more layer standing between it and the ground. Reports coming in from Moscow: a fire covering roughly 5,000 square meters, 2 fuel trucks, and a logistics base said to be burning. Details still limited. Day 1, 1,605. Most days, the map barely moves. But this week broke that pattern once. In Dnipropetrovsk region, Ukraine's 425th Assault Regiment, Skylia, pushed 25 kilometers in a single operation, clearing 6 villages and taking back over 120 square kilometers, the deepest advance either side has managed in months. Pokrovsk itself stays the opposite story. Nearly 300 engagements recorded there alone this week, the front barely shifting despite the intensity. Overnight, Ukrainian special forces reached further back than usual too, taking out a Russian Su-24 bomber at an airbase inside Crimea. At sea, the pressure hasn't slowed either. Dozens more vessels from the Shadow Fleet hit across the Black and Azov seas in the same stretch of days. And today's tally, total losses since the war began, now stand at 1,425,990. In the past 24 hours alone, 1,370 more were added to that count. Day 1,605. One real shift on the map this week, and the numbers still climbing everywhere else.